Good morning, gang. I've just woken up this morning, went for a nice swim. Very nice swim. I enjoyed it pleasantly. The water refreshing, me swimming like a dolphin. Ah, I had it. What do dolphins do again? They go No, that's not it either. That's weird. No. Like no. What do dolphins do? I've forgotten already. Anyway, we're continuing the book of Eddie Wu. I just want to, read it to you. If you're new here, this is chapter 2. There's a book of Eddie Wu's Wonderful World of Maths. I just, wanted to read it. And I was like, you know what? I want to read it to people. Also, I need a bit more, motivation. A bit more motivation to read. So I'm like, every morning, read a chapter with you guys, because you guys absolute lads if you're continuing to watch this. I am not gonna lie, it's a bit rough, watching someone read. It's a bit strange too. I don't think many people are reading books on YouTube, but can I say I'm built different. Bought this shirt yesterday too. It's pretty. Oh gosh, it's a pretty nice shirt. What can I say? Hair is wet. Let's go. So this is chapter 2. It's called The Heavenly Circle. You can already assume it's going to talk about the golden ratio. What a lad. Okie doke. Let's start. Daddy, look out the window. I'm trying to concentrate on driving on this wet afternoon, and I'm squinting hard even through my sunglasses because the sun is so low on the horizon, and the road is glistening with moisture. The school pickup is a stressful operation at the best times, but my daughter's voice catches my attention from the back seat, and I lift my gaze to look at her in the rear view mirror. Her elbow is in the door armrest, and she's supporting her chin with her hand as she stares through the rain-speckled window. And see by the look in her eyes that something has transfixed her. So I turn and look, and there it is, the brightest rainbow I've seen in years. I look at it for longer than I should, given the fact that I'm still moving slowly through traffic, but like my daughter, I find it hard not to stare. The iridescent green, the glowing red, the unearthly indigo. Though I've seen rainbows like this hundreds of times before, something about today's display that makes it particularly arresting. Why is it round, Daddy? I reply in that way parents do when they are just too distracted to give a decent response. My eyes lock back onto the road ahead of me and the traffic that's now stopped around us. My brain finally catches up, but I reflexively repeat the question to stall for time anyway. Round. She's still looking out the window, but I can see her nod in my peripheral vision. Yeah, why is it round? There are so many things I love about my children. One of my favorite qualities is their perpetual wonder. Due to their age, or rather lack thereof, they have eyes to see things in the world, genuinely beautiful and amazing things, that I've become bored with, that my brain has trained itself to ignore. Case in point, why is a rainbow a bow? What gives it its elegantly round shape? Their nose. It turns out the elegant roundness of a rainbow comes from a surprising source, the elegant roundness of each and every raindrop that makes up the rainbow. I say surprisingly because most people, ironically, do not picture raindrops as round. On the contrary, a cursory search on the internet for raindrop will turn up millions of images that are distinctly pointy at the top. However, a search for raindrop photos reveals a more realistic picture. While sometimes slightly stretched or squashed, raindrops are nonetheless much closer to spherical in shape than these caricatures would have us believe. The internet lies. Fake news. Look at that picture. What a tasty picture of some raindrops. It's actually raining outside and it's absolutely beautiful. Makes me so relaxed. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind a little to think about what's happening when we see a rainbow in the sky. As we know from experience, rainbows don't always form after rain. The sun needs to be shining brightly enough soon after the rain ends for a bright rainbow to appear, which is why they're often seen around sun showers. If your entire sky is blankened in thick clouds, then you're out of luck. Rain is necessary, but not sufficient. You really need light. Fans of Pink Floyd and Isaac Newton alike will know that light does a curious thing when it passes through something like a prism. Due to a phenomenon we call refraction, white light, like the kind emitted by our sun, splits up into its components, which we call a rainbow. Raindrops behave a bit like the pieces of glass on the album cover, refracting sunlight and dispersing it into a spectrum. But if that was all that was going on, we'd expect there to be rainbow light everywhere after a shower ends. Why is the rainbow bound up in a tight band that seems to belong in a perfect circle? And besides that, why does the rainbow curve away from the sun rather than around it? That's because the raindrops round us is the key. No way. That's because the geometry of a circle makes the rays of light coming from the sun behave in a very predictable, and literally dazzling. Far out. Okay, start from again. The raindrops roundness is the key. That's because the geometry of a circle makes the rays of light coming from the sun behave in a very predictable and literally dazzling way when they interact with a sphere of water. They not only disperse into their component colors, they also reflect inside the raindrops in such a way that they all shine back perfectly in one particular direction, revealing the whole spectrum of colors as they do so. We've even got little diagram, the light. Alright, this is hard to do in reverse. Light, white light going down into the water drop, reflecting, refracting, and then colors of the rainbow. Red and orange, yellow and green, blue and indigo and vitamin. Side by side, together we grow. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. Wow! Love that song. That's how I memorize my colors. Red and orange, yellow and green, blue and indigo and violet and me. Side by side, together we go. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. Underneath God's beautiful rainbow. There are millions of other raindrops that also reflect light towards the precise position where you are standing. Every single one of those droplets lies on the surface of a gigantic cone with your eye at the tip. When you look at a cone from the perspective of the tip, though you don't see the full cone. You just see the cone's cross-section, which is a circle. You might then ask why we only see semicircular rainbows. The reason is that the horizon tends to obscure the bottom half of the circle. The full version can indeed be seen when viewed from the air, such as out of the window of a plane if your timing is lucky enough. For me, this is what mathematics is. The world around us is filled with patterns, structures, shapes, and relationships that beg to be not just marveled at, but understood. Preach. Humanity developed mathematics as a language we can use to interpret the world, but realities such as the rainbow have taught us that mathematics is no mere invention or a mere invention. It has also been woven into the fabric of the universe all around us, if we're willing to open our eyes and see it. I don't remember how I answered my daughter that afternoon while we sat in traffic and admired the sky. But now I can tell her, and you, that rainbows around because a choir of raindrops has conspired together to put a light show so breathtaking and ethereal that if it didn't just appear in the sky above our heads, we probably wouldn't believe it. True. Imagine trying to explain to a blind man what a rainbow looks like. Imagine trying to explain colour. Wild. Anyway, that was chapter 2. Thank you for joining me. Here's the picture of the cone thing, so you're trying to understand it. So there's our eyes. And because we can only see the cross section, which is this part here, not the middle part, we can only see the circle. That's why rainbows end up looking semicircular. I was to go through what that chapter was about, basically it was about the refraction of light and the beauty of the world. I don't know how he related to mathematics, but realistically I see some of his points, which is the fact that mathematics is a method of almost communicating with the outside world, and we're able to understand it through the language of mathematics. So if we were to look at structures and raindrops and refraction, we're able to understand fully that, wow, this place is amazing. And also, the language of math is also amazing. And understanding, it's a bit more science for me. I'd say it's a bit more science, this refraction, even though it's explained in physics, which is math. No, I agree. I like this guy. Eddie Wu, you're a genius. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining me for another day of reading with the morning gang. Some morning reading. The next chapter we've got is chapter 3. It's music to my ears. Thank you for joining me. See you in the morning gang. Bye-bye!